Here are the two classic costume Spider-Woman figures that we've gotten. The first one is from the Thanos BAF wave from way back in 2015 or 16 I think. And here's the new one from the 2-pack with Super-Skrull. At a glance, they do kind of look the same, but there are some obvious differences between them. The previous figure comes with two pairs of webbings, one that opens up and the other that is closed, but the new figure has the same two pairs of webbings and other accessories as well. Here's the Skrull Queen head, looks really good actually. The facial paintwork is good. And here's the alternate hands with green electrical effects. The hands are casted in green with the top part of the hand painted in yellow. For the webbing, they are the same exact sculpt except that they have a different level of translucency. The newer one is more translucent and clear. Now, for the figure itself, there are a few differences. First up is the shade of yellow. For the new figure, it is bright yellow and there isn't any gradient to the shade of yellow. But for the previous figure, the yellow is kind of orangey on the torso. For the forearm, it is yellow on the outer side and then it's kind of orangey on the inner side. Same goes at the legs. Yellowish, and then at the side here, it's kind of orangey. Especially at the back, you can see the difference in the shade of yellow here. It is kind of orangey, unlike the new one, which is really just solid bright yellow. Same goes for the forearm. The paintwork on the face of the new one is better. The triangle is painted better, and also the lips compared to the previous figure. Next is the yellow paintwork on the torso. On the upper torso, the yellow is smaller compared to the previous figure. Same goes for the one on the abs. It is slightly narrower compared to the previous figure. And of course, another difference is that the upper torso is different on the new one. A bit more modest compared to the previous figure. The new one uses the same torso as this Spider-Woman figure. One thing that irks me is that why didn't the black paintwork go all the way down to the edge of the upper torso? You can see a gap of red over here. So it kind of like doesn't join up smoothly with the black on the lower torso. And talking about that, there is the black paintwork on this new figure. On the previous one, there isn't the black paintwork here. The legs of the new one are casted in red. So you can see that on the inner side of the peg hole here is totally red. Unlike the previous figure, where you can see the yellow on the inner side of the hole. The newer one also did it better by having the black line a bit lower and not going over the peg hole, unlike the previous version. Here's the back of the figure, and the newer one doesn't have the serial number at the back of the thigh. The line on the shoulder is also thinner on the new figure compared to the previous one. And for the last difference is that the previous figure can't really do any split. That's the max that it can do. But for the new one, it can do a wider split. Look at the difference here. Here's how the figure looks like with the open webbing. I actually had more difficulty trying to fix the webbing on the previous figure. Here's the back view. And here are the figures with the closed webbings. Again, I find it hard to put the webbings on the previous figure. And here's the new figure with the Skrull accessories. I think you can use Moonstar's hands on this figure. The yellow looks the same. These are the 4 Spider-Woman figures that we've gotten from Hasbro. In terms of body mold, I think this is the weakest. The arms kind of look scrawny compared to the other figures. The head sculpt is good on this one though. The specs are removable. And this new figure should have gotten the new female body mold arms with the double hinge elbow joint and bicep swivel. I really don't know why they didn't use the new arms on this figure, but they could use the new torso instead. And thankfully, they didn't use these really small hands. I didn't realize it is so small compared to this one. It makes Spider-Woman look like she has baby hands. Here's Silk and Julia Carpenter's Spider-Woman. This one is the first version. And here's the female teenage body mold of Spider-Gwen and Spider-Girl. Here's Retro Spidey and Renew Your Vows Spidey, and Cell Shaded Spidey and Pizza Spidey. Overall, the new figure is an improvement over the previous one, but like I mentioned earlier, they should have used the new arms instead of the previous one. I guess the tooling cost is a bit too high to just drill that hole to fit in the webbing if they were to use the new arms. The yellow paintwork and the overall paintwork is better. And the Skrull accessories is definitely a plus point. I would say even if you have the previous figure, you should try to get the newer one and sell off the old one. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to my channel and check out my other reviews.